Figure I'll give it a second before I start. All right. I'm assuming at this point it is live, so I'm going to be doing a very interesting discussion, and the first thing I want to do is welcome anybody that's about to watch this. Trust me when I say there's going to be a little drama in the beginning because it has to be used to make the point of the story, but I promise you at the end, there will be a happy ending and something you can take away from this. So I want to thank anybody that's watching, whether they are a listener of mine, a fan of mine, an enemy of mine, what have you, because obviously I have no control over who watches. What I'm going to say is to listen with an open mind. And unfortunately, there are people in this world that cannot do that. They only have one side of a story and they don't give the other person an option. But like I said, there's going to be some very amazingly beautiful things that happen to me today that will be set up by what I'm about to say. So trust me when I say hang on to this and just listen to the beginning because it's the setup. So let's give a little background first of the situation that happened last night. And I'm not going to get into any names or anything like that because I'm past it at this point. But I want to give my side since my side wasn't able to be heard. So this week I'll start up by saying was a little stressful for me to begin with. I ended up, as those of you who know, and I've never hit this, I have another channel. It's a comic book channel. I've mentioned that here on several occasions. If you watch my videos, you know this. The reason I don't bring it up on either channel, either one, very often is because they don't have anything to do with each other. So what's the sense? It makes no sense. So I've been on this channel for about 5 or 6 years. And those who've been following me for a while know that I've never been on the attack. Every time I've ever even said something to somebody, even back in 2012 when I wanted to quote unquote fight the news unit, who I haven't had a problem with in years. As a matter of fact, I mean, it's been probably a year or two, maybe more, but we spoke on the phone. I mean, we are civil. But back in those days, I mean, I was responding to other people. Whether right or wrong, I take responsibility for my parts. Everybody should take responsibility for their parts. When there are two people clashing or several people clashing, there's usually fault on both sides. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm innocent. But with that being said, I've never antagonized people to attack them. I mind my own business, then all of a sudden more and more people come and get at me, and then it does create a response. And that's my own fault. So I'm going to take responsibility for that. But this whole week, I didn't know this week was, I think it's Passover, but everybody was on holiday. So those of you who've known me for a while know that I do massage therapy. I used to be a lead singer of a band, and I stopped doing that back in, I think, 2012. And also a karaoke DJ. Well, because I didn't know there was a holiday this week, the places that I DJ were pretty much dead. So I wasn't making any currency, any fiat currency. And on Friday, it was a situation where I was working only a part-time job covering for somebody that injured themselves. So there's only another week left. But they ended up canceling me because the night was dead because it was the holiday, which I didn't find out until later. But I lost that job. So that's the boohoo stuff. So what happens is there is an individual, and I'll just say his name is K, and I'll leave it at that. If they want to put the drama here or whatever, that's fine. But I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to tell the story, the truth, the whole story, not just the one side that everybody seems to favor. Well, he decides to go on my Twitter page for my comic books. Now, I haven't spoken to this person in probably months, never even thought of him. Haven't mentioned his name or anything. This goes a couple of days ago, maybe the 19th, 18th, the 20th, somewhere in that area. And he comes for some reason on my Twitter account. And he says to me, "Don't go throwing flowers at yourself." So I kind of had a feeling what the context was because I know he had a problem with me from a previous thing that people were assuming I did. I'm not going to get into that here because it's just too much. Because like I said, I promise you, they will be good at the end of this. But I first responded, and only one person that I know of that saw these tweets. So one person out there, and I'm not going to say their name because unless they want to involve themselves, I'm not going to involve them because that's not right. If they choose to say who they are, that's fine. But they saw the tweets, so they know that I'm being truthful, even though 99% of the people have accused me of something and they only know part of the truth. So I respond first by saying, what did you mean by that? I got no response. So I waited a day. And then I said again, what did you mean by that? Didn't respond. So I let it go. Didn't make anything out of him. I'm like, all right, whatever. He said his piece. I hope it made him happy. So I decide on my YouTube channel, on my comic book channel, I have a bunch of friends that have been asking me when we made this video about post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and it's about a 3-hour live chat where people that had post-traumatic stress disorders, depressions, and everything, actually we talked. A bunch of people talked, and it helped people. If you watch it, one of the military people on there, his name is Semper Fi, said that it changed his life. So I highly recommend you check it. And this is on a comic book channel, but I still try and help people. And this person, K, leaves another message on my Twitter. This is now the third message, saying, you know, you're not a therapist, you shouldn't be doing this, all this other stuff, like antagonizing. Like, you know, he's not calling me a jerk, he's not name calling, so I'm not going to make it into something bigger than it is. But he's coming to me now for the third time, kind of notching at the hornet's nest, if you know what I mean. So the first response I put on is, you know, well, why don't you come on the show? And I said, well, you know, I'm not trying to heal anybody. We're having people that volunteered, that want to do this and thought it was a great idea and still to this day still do. Just want to talk about stuff. You want to be on the show, you're more than welcome to. Again, doesn't respond. Then he leaves another one about it. That's when I finally made a response. So in a 8-hour video, I'm not sure if it was the 8-hour or the 4-hour one, so forgive me if I don't get everything right, because to me, he was irrelevant. And again, like I said, there's going to be some happiness at the end, so bear with me on this. There's a method to this madness. So after the fourth one, with this attitude, I finally just blocked him. And in a video that was either 4 hours or 8 hours long, it was one of the two, because it was one of the live chats this week, so forgive me if I don't remember. But about 2 minutes of it, I mentioned what he did. Now, I didn't name call him. I didn't call him a jerk. I didn't call him anything like that. I don't remember exactly what I said. I'm sure I wasn't an angel, but I basically told people, yeah, he was coming to my Twitter account, trying to, like I said, knock on the hornet's nest. And then he makes a response video, a whole entire video saying that I attacked him. Now, that's not where I kind of flew off the handle, because it's been a long time since I got that way, back in 2012, and it's been a place that I've been away from for a very long time, very happily. But they got me back there last night, and it wasn't his video. I mean, to me, it's like, you know, you want to play Jesus Christ and pretend, you know, you're the martyr on the cross, that's fine. But the amount of people that believed in him, that's one thing. But then I got one person, and we'll just say his name is Man, threatens to want to beat me up. Now, I never had a problem with this person, didn't even know we had any issues, and he's saying, a bunch of people calling me fake, calling me a liar, saying poor Kevin, sorry, poor K. That was a slip. But I won't say anything more than that, so I apologize. I didn't mean to say that. Poor K, he's the victim, because he's 20 years old. But he instigated this, and like I said, there's a person that saw the Twitter account. As a matter of fact, we emailed each other back and forth about it, how he was out of line doing it. So he started it. I let it alone 3-4 times. I blocked it. Finally said something about it. 2 minutes into a video, he makes a whole video about me. I didn't watch it, but my subscribers shared the link to me. What bothered me the most is a person, and I'll just say his name is Merck. Again, I'm not going to say full names because I don't want anybody going to their channels and starting negativity, because, you know, like I try and teach on this channel, we have to rise above. And the beautiful thing is sometimes we're going to fall. And that's what this whole beginning part is going to be about. And I'm going to be perfectly honest as best as I can. And I'll get into the details of where I fell. But it doesn't matter if you get knocked down. It's if you get back up again. So there's a learning lesson to this. What hurt me the most is this person named Merck. Now, I have a live channel that I do every week. I help promote other people's channels. To me, I thought it was a good thing. Most people like it. And a matter of fact, it got to the point where people were waiting online to kind of get in and join in, because I would help promote their channels. I would let them post their links. They would talk about anything they wanted. This person, Merck, was on, I think I had like 14 shows, give or take 1 or 2. He was on 90% of them as a guest, as a friend. I promoted his channel. talked nothing but nice to him, actually considered him a friend. He came on the live show every time. We all would BS, have a great time. It was fun. So when this whole thing with Kay comes about, and I guess I might as well just say Kevin because, I said it, but whatever. But I'm not going to say Kevin who. He comes out on Kevin's side and sends me this nasty comment, which I don't know if he took down. Some people said he took it down. Other people said it didn't. At this point, I don't care. But this is a person who I consider was a friend, who I was supporting his channel. As a matter of fact, he made his own live chat, and I allowed him to talk about it on my channel, to promote it. Again, thought he was my friend. And then makes the nastiest comment out of nowhere, like I literally feel I got sucker punched. Where he's like, oh, why don't you go back to sun gazing? Why don't you, he says, and I don't have the exact quotes, but basically he said that the only reason I tolerated you is because I used you to be on your live show to get subscribers to my channel, which is kind of sad if you think about it. But that, to me, is what set me off. It wasn't the fact of what Kevin did, although I was really upset with the fact that people were wanting to fight me on a comic book channel based on one side of the story. And if you go, well, I'm not even going to tell people to go there, but the people that have been there, because I know a couple of people on my other channel are here, if you read the comments, they were all high-fiving each other. They're talking about, oh, look at Chris being nasty, and they're saying the nastiest things, me wanting to fight me. People I thought were my friends all of a sudden talking major hurtful things. So with the going home early last night with the DJing, it's pouring raining out at this point, and that's relevant to this. So yeah, it was raining all night. If you live in New York, you know that. But I got really mad. And I felt like, because I was at work, I actually went outside and made a video on my laptop calling them out. And I wasn't nice. I was cursing. I was the lowest common denominator. I'm not going to lie. I am one of those people that you're straightforward with things, but you tell the right thing. So I called them both out. I called them lots of names. And I lowered myself. And it was justified or not, I, again, take responsibility for my part. Was I overboard? Yeah. But did I antagonize all this stuff? Absolutely not. I was offended by how many people that I thought were my friends, who I never even knew I even had a problem with, all of a sudden saying the nastiest things. And the Merc guy, who, again, if you go on the channel and see every live show, he was there. I welcomed him in with welcome arms to say the nastiest things, saying he just used me so he can get views on his channel and subscribers. That was just the sucker punch that threw me over. And I actually didn't shut down my channel last night, but I made all my videos private, and I was thinking about stopping. As a matter of fact, I made a video that says I'm quitting YouTube, and I was really going to do that. But instead of just deleting the videos like I did on my old channel, I decided, you know what, let me have time to think about this. I'll put it on private, and I'll go from there. Now, the best part is, what made me really reconsider it is the love that I got from people, the people that care. But I was still angry, angrier than I've been in a long time, because I felt betrayed. And if anybody's had a friend, now, obviously, this guy, Merc, we weren't best friends. We didn't go out. We've never met before. But he never gave me any indication he had a problem with me. And to find out that he was using me just to get subscribers on his channel, pretending to be a friend, really is a lowest common denominator thing to do. And I'm trying to be intellectual about how I speak right now. Last night I wasn't. I got that out. But when I went home last night, I was just really mad. As a matter of fact, I didn't go to sleep all night. I was up steaming until about 7 o'clock in the morning. The whole time it's raining, and I'm wishing it would stop raining, because I'm like, that's just the irony of it all. So I had to go to work this morning to do a massage. Now, this is where it's going to start getting a little better, so I appreciate those that are listening to this. What you take from it is up to you. If you want to choose sides, I'm not here to do that. Even the people that are for me, don't go over there and harass these people. We're going to prove that we're better. And if they want to accuse me of things that they have no clue about and want to make this person, Kevin, to be a savior and a victim when he was the one that instigated, I don't care how light you tap on a hornet's nest, but if you go over to purposely tap that, don't cry if you get stung. It's your own fault. Take responsibility. And he just doesn't want to do that, but that's on him. Like I said, it wasn't the major thing. It was the Merc guy, who I thought was a friend, that really got under my skin. So I went to work this morning, not only extremely mad, but almost depressed. And I was kind of like, all right, I'm in a no-win situation. I was approached when I didn't even mention the person's name. I ignored it for a little bit. I just responded, what did you mean by your statement? Didn't respond. Did it twice. Then he made another comment, and a fourth one. I finally just blocked him, and I thought that was it. So this morning, as I'm driving to work, because I am a massage therapist, I have a regular client that she's been coming to me. She's this, I think, like late 50s, early 60s, either Chinese or Korean lady. Sweet lady. She's been coming to me like 15 years, has TMJ and neck problems. I've been working on her for years. Great old woman, great lady, we'll put it that way. And as I'm driving to work, I'm like getting to the point where I'm like gripping the steering wheel like this. And I'm like, okay, I'm in a no-win situation because I originally wanted to make a video like this and call out the trolls, call out the other people that were involved and make a video and really just go off. I was like, I don't care. You know what? All the things I learned, screw it. I'll throw it out the window for foolish pride. I'm going to let the anger and everything get inside me. I was close to that. But as I'm driving, I'm sitting there, I'm clenching the steering wheel, and I keep saying, what direction do I go? What do I do? Because if I made that video, then people would say, oh, look, see, he is a drama king or drama queen, whatever they want to say. And if I don't make it, then people will say, well, look, see, he didn't make a video, so it must be true because he's not trying to defend himself. So it's damned if I do and damned if I don't. So I'm sitting there like, I didn't ask for this. People are attacking me that I thought were friends. This is all the same thing all over again, where people are blaming me. Like, I'm not allowed to defend myself when people come towards me. They're okay with the people saying the nasty things, how they pretended to be my friend to subscribe. They're high-fiving that person. But me, for some reason, because they're jealous or hate me or whatever, because I have a different belief system or I talk differently or, put in more effort than they do, I was confused. I'm like sitting there like, at one point I'm like, how about I just drive my car into the nearest pole? That's how bad it was this morning. But again, this is going to get better. So the whole title of this video about how donuts saved me again, which I'm going to explain now. So I had to have that whole backstory to have this make sense. Now, if you've been watching my channel here for a while, about a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years at this point, but about a year and a half ago, I made a video, and you could type it up because it's still there. It's called It All Started with Donuts. Now, this is in regards to the woman, her name, we'll just say her name is Pam. And, where's my cell phone? I'm going to need this. Yeah, okay. She's been coming to me, like I said, roughly about between 15 and 18 years. I haven't written it down, but she's been coming to me for a long time, every Saturday for at least a minimum of 15 years. She is a very stern, either Chinese or Korean woman. She's very blunt. She's very to the point. She'll say hello. That's about it. We've probably in 15 years probably said 2 hours worth of conversation total in 15 years, which I'm fine with. Some clients are that way. They just don't want to talk. That's fine. So she's not warm and cuddly and friendly and everything like that. She's just here for the massage. I have pains. Help me out. And it saves me from going to the hospital and dealing with the problems in her spine. I'm fine with that. Well, a year and a half ago, I was going through another situation. I don't remember the whole thing because obviously in a year and a half, who's going to remember these things? But that particular day, I was driving to work, and I just kept thinking, I need something to inspire me. I need something to send me, a clue of what's going on, what direction I want to go. And my massage room, I rent space in a salon. I have a little room that I rent space from. It's my own business. I've been doing this since 1995. So it's now going on 21 years. Yeah, I'm that old. So I have a little room. It's got like 3 stairs down. I almost kid around saying it's like my college dorm room. It's a little small room. It's got beautiful paintings and murals all over the place. Cozy place. But when I'm setting up for the session, I'm in the room waiting for the client. And then I just come out and, whatever. So that particular time, as I'm walking out of the room, she hands me a thing of donuts. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. Because first of all, I remember that I was really hungry and I didn't have time to eat. But I had other things going on in my mind. And for the first time in years, ever, actually, she brings me donuts. So I thought that was the coolest thing, and I made a video about it. It's about an hour long, and I highly recommend you watch it. So getting back to today. As I'm driving in the car and I'm clenching the steering wheel and I'm very angry and I'm saying, what do I do? Do I just sacrifice everything that I believe in and just stoop down to their level and really go at them and be negative and then just ruin everything? What do I do? So I get to the massage place. I don't say hello to anybody in the salon as I walk through. Go into my room, set up the room because she does hot stone therapy. And as I'm sitting there, I hear her say, hello, like she normally does. And as I walk up to, get her gift certificate, because she buys packages all the time, she hands me this. Now, that was kind of surprised me at first, because it was the second time when I really needed answers that somebody did something nice for me. So this is just donuts. It's not the lottery. It's not the cure for cancer. It's just donuts. So to most people, it's no big deal. But what she said is what affected me, and said that is what I needed to hear. And when she handed me the donut, she just nonchalantly said, here, I have a feeling you need these. And at first, it affected me in a way, and I was kind of like, wait a minute, did I call her? Did I explain the situation? Did I text her? Because, like, how would she know? I mean, it's not like, here, I brought you donuts. She said, here, I felt that you needed these. And I started to break down in a good way. And all the anger, all the frustration, all the negativity that I was dealing from all these people that don't know me and are basing things on a one-sided story without giving me a chance to say my side. People that were threatening me. People that say they were my friends and using me. And they left comments proving it, so I'm not making it up. If they delete it, it's nothing I can do, but I know people saw it. And like I said, there was one person that we had a conversation about the tweets that this person, Kevin, was leaving, antagonizing, for no reason. All that just disappeared. Now, here's the ironic part. We started talking a little bit, and I didn't want to talk much because, when I'm doing a massage, a person doesn't want to hear depressing things. They're there to relax, so we minimized the conversation. And it was raining, like I said, the whole time. After I got out of the room, I walk out, and I'm feeling so much better, like, wow, somebody did something just nice for me. And again, it wasn't that she said, here's some donuts. She said, I felt that you needed these. And I asked her about that. And she said, I don't know. I was coming here like I always do, and I just got this feeling that you needed something. And we kidded around the last time. I said, we must have some kind of connection in that sense. Because if you're a massage therapist, I know a couple of people that watch are. I've been doing massage for now, like I said, going on 21 years. When you're in a room where you're basically almost meditating the whole time, because, you're in pretty much a fairly dark room. I just have minimal lighting. You have all like nature music and stuff like that going on. 99 to 100% of the time, people don't talk. So you're there for an hour to 2 hours to 7 hours with nonstop like music, calming music. Your mind expands. You have time to meditate in a way, not even if you're trying. It's just very sedative. It's relaxing. It's mind expansing. So it made me instantly smile, and all that burden, all that weight, all of that pain, all that anger that I had went away. Because I was like, wait a minute, here I am driving to work. I am clenching my fists. I am thinking about possibly driving into the nearest pole. Not sure what I'm going to do because I can't win no matter what. I kept saying to myself, I need the answers. I need to know what I do next. And a person, for the second time in 15 years, that's never done this other than the one time, hands me donuts and says, here, I felt you needed these. So there's more to it. So as I leave the room, I open the door to the back of the salon because I'm in the back part of the salon, so I don't have to hear the hair dryers and the stylist talking. And I look outside, and the sun is shining. So it was raining all last night, all through the morning, all the way going to work. And when I came out and my mood was lifted, all of a sudden the sun was shining, and I mentioned it to her. And to me, it was an ironic thing because the whole time I was mad, angry, depressed. It's raining, it's gloomy, it's dark. It almost reminded me of, I think it was Men in Black 2, where that girl They said every time she's sad and cries, it rains. So not that I'm saying that I made it rain or anything, but it reminded me of that symbolism. And I thought, how ironic that I was depressed, I was angry, I was in this lower vibrational moment, letting those people get to me. And I allowed it. It's my fault. I take responsibility for that. Antagonized or not, I still take responsibility, even though the other half will not. And that's on them. But the irony of it is it rained the whole night, the whole time I was mad, going to work. And after that situation happened, I opened the door and it's starting to shine. The sun is shining. So I mentioned that to her. And as she's leaving, she kids around and says, Chris, you should go play the lottery. So she was my only client today. I was just going to come home. I don't know what I was going to do. I was just going to relax because I got no sleep last night. And I'm like, you know what? I think I will play the lottery. I think I'll go play a scratch off. So I work in not a mall, but there's a whole bunch of stores around. And one of them sells lottery tickets, scratch off tickets. So I'm like, you know what? I'll buy a $20 lottery ticket. Well, as I'm walking and about to open the door to the place, the number 32 comes to my head. For whatever reason, the number 32. I don't know what the significance of it was. So then I said, you know what? Whatever number the 32 is, whatever ticket is under that, I'm going to get that. So if you ever bought a scratch-off ticket and you go to a deli or you go to some store where they sell a bunch of them, they'll be individually numbered. So you could say, I'll have number 15, I'll have number 10, I'll have number whatever. So I was originally going to go in there just to buy a $20 lottery ticket because I usually buy those, and I win a lot. But I look and see number 32. Now, I've already thought about this before I got in there. So I buy two $10 lottery tickets because that's what they were. They were $10. First one I lost. Here's the second one. So as you can see, I mean, it's not a millionaire or anything like that, but I won $50 on this ticket, number 32. And I mentioned that to her, and I'm going to show you the text. So, and obviously I will cover the phone number. But if you can read this, the blue is mine in the center, and the top and bottom are her. I'm sorry, the top and bottom of mine, the blue is hers. And I told her about the situation, and she even confirms, if you read the center, about the sun shining. So I'll leave that there for a second, so you can read the whole thing if you choose to. Hopefully you read that. So, what is the point of all this? In a world where we're supposed to have freedom of choice, free will, freedom of religion, freedom to believe whatever you want, as long as you're not infringing on the rights of others, there are people in this world that their job, for whatever reason, whether it's for financial gain or to make themselves feel better, I can't control that. There will be people in your life, family, friends, strangers, whatever, that will go out of their way to lie about you, put misinformation about you, hurt you, abandon you, and it hurts. And it could get you to the lowest common denominator. You could be up there and be very spiritual, very talking about, rise above, but every now and then you will get knocked down. And last night, and I have the videos on my channel, and I am not going to take them down because they're a reminder of what I don't want to be. And that's what that is to me now. I view it as, this is a reminder. Do I want to be that? The answer is no. So if they want to judge me or judge you, if somebody wants to judge you for your belief because you think differently or love differently or do anything differently, speak differently, look different, and people are going to judge you for that and hate you for it and lie about it for you, there are going to be times where you just want to punch a wall or put a gun to your head. But it all boils down to choice. And this morning when that whole situation happened and I was mad and I was just kept repeating, where do I go from this? What do I do? And just have this simple thing of a person that twice in 15 years, when I needed it the most, just hands me donuts. Now, you can see there are two missing. Those were the best tasting pieces of food that I've ever tasted in my life. Because when I ate it, it was sweet. It was amazing because of just the love that was placed into them, the kindness, the caring, the consideration that was placed in them. It was the best food I've ever had. And yes, they're not good for you, but I don't care. So I'm going to enjoy eating the rest of these, and I'm going to do that today. And if my wife wants one, she probably won't because she's a vegan. I'll let her have one. But my point is, last night I let them, and that's on me, I let them affect me. Almost to the point where I was ready to shut down my channel. So there are going to be times in life where you're going to be tested. And that's why I was talking about with the PTSD video. And again, I hope you watch it. It's a beautiful thing. It's going to help people. And as a matter of fact, when I disabled all the other videos, I left that one up because it was just too important. And there were people that told me I changed their lives and said it was the first time they slept in years. Hear their stories. But my point is, you ultimately have the choice of where you go in life. There will be people that will try and knock you down because sometimes because they can. Sometimes because they enjoy it. Sometimes they make a living doing it. And it will affect you sometimes. I let it affect me last night. Right or wrong, antagonized or not, being hurt or not by people I thought were my friends. And I'm sure you've probably gone through that as well. Don't ever give up. So with all of this that happened, as bad as last night was, it made me re-energize. It made me understand what I needed to be reminded of, that I'm here for a certain reason. And I was presented something that I almost accepted. But the lesson I learned today is that's not where I'm supposed to be. And that's not where you're supposed to be. So it's not bad to get knocked down, but it is bad to not get back up. So applause to the trolls and the haters, and Kevin and Merck for your, one, not being truthful, and two, the other, pretending to be a friend. Excuse me, Cat. He loves being the star of the show. This is all on you now. Whether you have a bunch of high fivers, Kevin, shame on you. That's all I'm going to say is shame on you. And Merck, that is the coldest thing anybody can ever do. And karma always finds people. So they all ganged up on me. Congratulations. They all said nasty things, and they still are, and I'm sure they still will. There will be some people that'll say I'm being overdramatic here. There'll be people that'll make their usual comments because that's what they do. They're going to try and antagonize me. But it ain't going to work. They gave it their best shot, and I almost allowed it, but I got knocked down. But as you could see, I'm turning lemonade into these lemons. And I could have easily went into a depression. I could have easily shut down my channel. And you can see even my cat is very happy about this. But I want to teach people out there that you have the strength to do anything. And this is one of 3 cats. These are all strays. And losing the income that I did is going to hurt them. But I'll do everything for them. I don't care. My wife, my mother, my family, my animals are what mean things and everything to me. And the people that are here that are my friends, at least I hope they are. All right, we don't want to see your cat butt. Thank you. So I hope this helps anybody out there. If you've been sad, if you've been depressed, if you're on this road to, being inspired and listening to people, we are human beings. We are going to get knocked down. I'm not a savior. I'm not somebody that's not vulnerable to attack. Obviously, you've seen for years, you've been following my channel, know that I've had to deal with this for years. And somehow when you defend yourself, all of a sudden you're the attacker. I don't understand that, but I'm not going to waste my time. So if there's one person that watches this and it changes their mindset, or makes them say, you know what, here's an example of somebody getting beat down and admitting his faults and his wrongdoing, which you'll never see on the other side. They won't admit their wrongdoing, but that's on them. And you can see here, I'm being real. And like I said, I have people that have seen what I'm talking about. You can do whatever you want. And when you think about thoughts, your thoughts are electrical. It's energy. Can't be contained. It's like your Bluetooth or your cell phone. It's not magic that brings what you're seeing here if you're watching it on a Bluetooth or your cell phone. It's just electricity that can't be contained, and it goes along wirelessly. It's the same thing with your brain. Just because you can't see it, I mean, you can automatically call it crazy if you want to. That's just ignorance. Light and energy moves at 186,400 miles per second. So when I thought about all that really hard, all of a sudden, this woman that has been coming to me for at least, like I said, about 15 years, did this once before at a time when I needed something to show me a positive sign, happens to do it again and she said she felt it. Now, if you want to believe that's a coincidence, that's absolutely fine. I'm not here to tell you anything. If you want to think it's absolutely rubbish and nonsense and not even believe the story at all, that's all fine and dandy. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. And if people on that other channel of mine want to continue to attack, and that person, Kevin and Merck, and Man, the other person, they want to keep threatening or admitting, not admitting that they had a part in it, that's on them. So I take that negative energy that they tried to give me, that I accepted last night, that I presented back to them. And that's what you need to do. And that's why I'm not afraid to show my face. For a while, the reason I wasn't showing my face is, number one, on my other channel, it was supposed to be about comic books. I didn't want it to be about me. The one thing I saw on many channels is, they're showing themselves when I'm like, all right, this is supposed to be about comic books. I don't care what the person looks like. I just want to see the comic books. And I was doing it to relax. So I was like, all right, this channel, at least in my opinion, doesn't make it right, but it's my opinion. Is I just said, all right, I'll show the comic books. It makes me have something to do. Again, I take my fiat currency and turn it into something that could actually give me something in the future as protection. I still have my gold and silver. I still buy it. I made videos about saying that. But it seems like if you have a difference of opinion, there are going to be people who can hate you and attack you for it because it sounds crazy or it's different. Like Merck, who made fun of my sun gazing, even though I have videos showing that I did it. And as you could see, here I'm holding up 2 fingers. I'm holding up a pen. Here's a thing of tape. Here's that winning lottery ticket. I'm not blind. People mock what they don't understand. Instead of just saying somebody has the right. I didn't put a gun to anybody's head and tell people to do it. I explained how to do it correctly. I talk about things that people can easily look up. I talk about things like legal definitions and admiralty law and the history of money. You can easily look it up. If you just disagree with that, without verification, then you're only hurting yourself. But there are going to be people that are going to do that. I guarantee you, after this video, the people that don't like me are going to find something about this video to not like. But I'm not doing this for them. I'm very glad that I made this video. And I want people to see that you can be down and you could sometimes lose track. You can go off your path. But you can always get back on again. And the hatred that I felt last night, the anger I made myself feel last night, whether justified or not, I used it as motivation. And then all the things that transpired this morning, coincidence or not, made me feel better. And in the end, that's all that matters. So if you want to leave comments, by all means, please do. If you want to be inspired by this, I hope you will. If you want to hate me still, then there's nothing I can do for you. But make no mistake, they didn't get rid of me, nor will they ever get rid of me. They should just move on. And the fact that they won't, and that's why some of them have actually been watching this, it shows that they need me. That's the best tasting donut. I'll ever have. Thanks for taking the time to listen. If you want to leave a comment, please do. And remember, you have the choice to do whatever you want. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. You have 3 choices in life. You can do the right thing, you can do the wrong thing, or you can do nothing. It's all up to you. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate those that took the time to listen. And I don't know when I'll make my next video here, but if you want to check out my other video on my other channel, you're more than welcome to. I'll come back when I can, but I'm never giving up. And I hope you will not either. Have a great day.